thing that I do every day. Where's our reparations for 400?
Joining us now to discuss is former New York State Assemblyman and founders of Americans Against Antisemitism, Dov Hikind. Dov, thanks for being here tonight, but I want to also tie this back into what happened in Texas. The media wants to say that white supremacy is the biggest threat to America. We know that there are some white supremacists out there. We know what the horrific tragedy that happened at Tree of Life Synagogue in Pittsburgh that was committed by a white supremacist, but they're not telling people the full picture. The hate crimes that are being perpetrated in New York, they are not being committed by white supremacists. And in terms of what happened in that Texas synagogue, that was a jihadist, radicalized, arguably in the United Kingdom. So break this all down for us in terms of the Jewish community right now and even other minority communities in New York City. What is the biggest problem? Is this coming from the rhetoric of the media and people like Al Sharpton and Louis Farrakhan?
Well, basically, first of all, thanks for having me on, Logan. Look, things are out of control. The hypocrisy, the dishonesty that is going on the part of the Democratic Party in general and radical Democrats in particular. I mean, all you have to have is eyes to see who the perpetrators are, for God's sake. Recent perpetrators, it's very, very clear who they are. They come from the minority community very often. All the attacks in New York over the past 2 years, thank God for surveillance video cameras, those attacking Jews, belting Jews, beating up on Jews. What do they look like? They're not even white, for God's sake. I mean, let's be freaking honest about this. So much of this hate is emanating from the minority community. And if we don't talk about it, and if we don't face it, how in God's name are we ever going to deal with it? We see the perpetrators. We see who they are. They are not white supremacists. Stop the nonsense. It is undermining the war against anti-Semitism. I mean, Democrats, I remember Bill de Blasio, when everything was going on, day in and day out attacks upon Jews, he was talking about white supremacists. I couldn't find a white supremacist in New York. What the hell was he talking about? And what are others talking about? It is an excuse. It's just a way to not deal with the reality of what's going on. We need to start having a real dialogue about those who are committing acts of hate. And the big question is, why? Where is this hate coming from? All of these attacks. The reality is, Logan, we have a situation over the past 3 years of anti-Semitic attacks like we've never seen in the history of this country. That is a fact. And almost all of them are not being committed by those the Democrats want to tell you, oh, it's the white supremacists. Where are they? What the hell are they talking about? We have the video. We see the people. We know who they are.
Yeah, and then Dov, if they're a jihadist, then the media says, oh, well, he might have had a mental illness. Well, the mental illness was being radicalized by Islamic fundamentalism. They just don't put it in that same category, which is what we're both getting to. They're both threats in the Jewish community. They only treat one as a threat, the other one they laugh off when it's arguably the bigger threat.
Every anti-Semitic incident, the perpetrator, you notice there's something mentally wrong with the person. Every case, they're all mentally, lacking something. It is so freaking preposterous. And again, things are not good. Jews are afraid. People are taking off their yarmulkes. I had someone at my Sabbath table last week who literally said to us, to the entire group of people, when I go into Manhattan, I take my yarmulke off. This is America. This is the greatest country on the face of the earth, and people need to take off their yarmulkes to go into Manhattan. We have 1.1 million Jews in New York, and we have to be afraid. And you know who's responsible? The freaking politicians. They're a bunch of frauds. They're frauds, plain and simple. They talk the talk sometimes. They're dishonest with the public, and things are getting out of control. I'm telling you, things have never been this bad. We follow in Americans Against Anti-Semitism. Anti-Semitic acts are happening all the time. I mean, can you tell me how a 21-year-old, in this case, the person is white, going to a university studying psychology, walks over to an 8-year-old, a 6-year-old, and a 3-year-old or 4-year-old, and says that Hitler should have finished the job? What in God's name is that all about? Where did the hate come from? We need to start talking about this. You know, every time there's an incident, thank God, you know, everybody's against anti-Semitism, Logan. Isn't that nice? They're full of crap.
Well, it's amazing to see what's happened, Dov. Really sad to see the melting pot of America has become maybe the most divisive city in our country. Dov Hikind, longtime New York State Assemblyman and the founder of Americans Against Anti-Semitism. Thanks for joining us. Have a great rest of your weekend.
Thanks for having me, Logan.